Okay, I think we'll get started then. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. We really appreciate it. And good morning. I can see a lot of you've dropped in now, so we'll get started. Thank you for joining. I hope that you're all safe and well, and what a stunning day it is outside. It's gorgeous out there, so I hope you're all enjoying that. Today I'll be joined by Lucy, who is the Business Development Manager from Seabourn Cruises. Before I do pass you over to Lucy, I just want to give you a bit of information about Panache Cruises, who I am and what Panache Cruises is all about. My name's Katie, and I've worked now in the luxury cruise sector for just over 9 years, and I have been really lucky to be with Panache Cruises from the very start. During this presentation today, what we really want to get across to you is what life is like on board with Seabourn Cruises, and also take a look at Seabourn's amazing Alaskan itineraries. We'll take a look at their current promotions, what sort of booking flexibilities they have, and offers they've got on at the moment, and why you should book now more than ever. Before we do that, and before I do hand you over to Lucy, Panache Cruises, so we specialise in elite ocean, river cruising, expedition and yacht style cruising. We were founded by James Cole, who is a cruise entrepreneur, and he's very well known and respected in the cruise industry. Most of us have been really lucky to work with James in the past. And between us and the team, we have a combined knowledge of 100 years. Here at Panache Cruises, nothing is too much trouble. Right from when you make the inquiry up until when you board your cruise, we will take care of your inquiry right the way through. We'll sort your shore excursions, your dining reservations. We'll take care of everything from you and take all the stresses away from you with your holiday. That is the Panache Cruise difference. You'll be assigned a personal cruise connoisseur from when you make your inquiry up until you get back from your cruise too. So what is it that, why is now a good time to make a booking as well? We'll talk about that as well during the presentation. So there's flexible booking conditions with the cruise lines at the moment, and low deposits as well. So there isn't a better time to be making a cruise booking than now. So I will come back to you at the end and just discuss about our event offer today of what we have. But before I pass it over to Lucy, I just wanted to let you know, if you've got any questions that you want to ask at the end, there is a little chat box near the bottom. If you just hover down, you can see that there's a little chat box at the bottom. So any questions that you ask, I'll be more than happy to answer at the end for you. So I'll hand you over to Lucy, and thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks very much, Katie. So thank you again, everyone. Just to repeat what Katie said, for joining us this morning. We really appreciate you coming to learn a little bit more about Seabourn in Alaska and Canada and New England on this beautiful sunny day. But hopefully we're going to be able to inspire you for your holidays in next year and beyond. And lots of people are looking forward to trying to get some nice big holidays, bucket list holidays, booked for the next couple of years where we've not been able to travel for a little while. So I've got a quick video. brand video there to give you a little bit of an introduction. So as Katie said, my name's Lucy and I'm Business Development Manager for Seabourn. I've been lucky enough to work for the brand for nearly 6 years now, and it is just the most incredible brand to work for. I have been lucky enough to sell a couple of times and absolutely love the experience and cannot wait to get back on board. So Seabourn is part of Carnival Corporation, and we are the small ship ultra luxury cruise line within the biggest cruise corporation in the world. So it's a private club-like atmosphere on board. We offer all-inclusive onboard luxury. Of course, we have smaller ships, but we're able to offer generous-sized guest spaces. All of the suites are oceanfront. Most of them do have a veranda, but all of them have separate bathtubs and showers, as well as walk-in wardrobes and separate dining areas. Obviously, having smaller ships allows us to visit some smaller ports of call that the bigger ships are unable to access. Hidden harbours, tiny islands and marquee ports. And when we go through some of the destinations in Alaska that we're able to visit, this will just show you how different some of the places that you can see with Seabourn are. We have a number of partnerships that we're very proud of, including Molton Brown, where we have our own signature scent that no one else has is able to have, and a Chef Thomas Keller partnership as well, so that we're able to offer lots of incredible cuisine on board our ships, and a few other partnerships I will mention as we go through the presentation as well. So this here is the Seabourn fleet currently. We do have the youngest and most consistent fleet in the ultra luxury cruise industry, which is something that we're really proud of. So the Odyssey is the eldest ship within the fleet, but as you can see, she was built in 2009, so she's just 11 years old. And then she is sister ships with the Sojourn and the Quest. The Odyssey will actually be the ship that is doing the Alaska departures in 2022 and 23. The Encore and the Ovation joined the fleet more recently. They have slightly more suites, so 300 suites on board, but they have exactly the same layout as the Odyssey class ships. So they're just a little bit wider and have an extra deck in order to accommodate for those extra suites that we have on board. The Encore and the Ovation are 100% veranda suite accommodation, and the Odyssey class ships are 90% veranda suite accommodation. So lots of opportunity there for you to have lovely balcony suites, and obviously because there's more of them, the premium you will pay is not quite as high to get one of those. We do have an expedition ship that will be joining at the end of the year, which we're really excited about. So she's going to be called the Seabourn Venture. And she'll have 132 veranda suites on board. She's PC6 ice class, and she will be an ultra luxury expedition ship. So very different to the rest of the fleet that we have, with the itineraries that she will be doing, and some of the destinations that she's visiting as well. So if you're interested in some more of the adventurous itineraries that we have on offer, and you want to do Alaska and then you want to do something a little bit fancier like Antarctica or the Arctic, then all of those options are there for you with Seabourn. There is a second expedition ship that will be joining the fleet in 2022 that is yet to be named, so hopefully we will have more information on that one very soon. So first of all, I'm going to go through the Seabourn difference with you, and then we'll talk about what we do in Alaska and Canada, New England, and the new itineraries that we have and what makes those destinations so special. So the Seabourn all-inclusive difference, we have curated voyages to all 7 continents. So we do travel absolutely everywhere with that fleet of 5 ships that we have at the moment. Obviously, we spend a lot of time in Europe and the Caribbean, which are really key destinations for Seabourn, but we do visit all other 7 continents as well, including Antarctica. We have intimate ships that have a private club-like atmosphere, so it's a very relaxed feel on board, lots of different bar areas. There's always somewhere that you can have some space to yourself if that's what you would like, but most of our guests like to interact with the other people on board, share their experiences and strike up new friendships, and then be able to dine with them as well. And obviously the beauty of having an all-inclusive ship means that no one has to pick up a bar tab, and no set dining times means that you can dine with whoever you would like to when you're on board as well. We have a masterfully designed ships. So we've worked with Adam Tahani in designing the ships that we have within the fleet, and he's helped us design the Encore and the Ovation, the latest ships that we have, as well as the Venture that's joining at the end of this year. But it's very much an ultra luxury hotel that just happens to be at sea rather than a cruise ship traditional experience. So you can see that beautiful outside deck area here. You can also see that there's some tables outside there in the evening, and that's because you do have the opportunity to dine al fresco in our destinations. And in places like Canada, New England and Alaska, where it might get a little bit chillier in the evenings, there'll obviously be blankets and things there so that you can really snuggle up and look at the stars stars and have just an amazing experience outside. There's lots of incredible artwork throughout the ships as well, and we've obviously worked really hard in order to make all of the ships really beautiful, so that you do remember that and go away with that and can admire the artwork and all of the different sculptures and things that are present throughout the ship. I mentioned that we go absolutely everywhere. So obviously having smaller ships means that we are able to get further into destinations as well. So in somewhere like Monte Carlo, as an example, you actually wake up right next to the yachts rather than having to do a transfer or tender in. We spend longer in ports as well. So St. Petersburg, we do 2 overnights rather than just the 1, so that you're able to explore Russia further. And in Alaska and Canada, New England, we have a few overnights. So we have an overnight stay in Halifax, Nova Scotia on our Canada, New England program. And in Alaska, we're able to visit many smaller destinations that the bigger ships can't access. So lots of different glaciers that the bigger ships are unable to get to, places like the Indian Islands and Kodiak that some of the bigger ships don't access also. We have all oceanfront suites on board. So this is one of the higher grades of suites here. So one of the signature or Winter Garden suites, but all of our suites, as I mentioned, are oceanfront. Most of them do have a veranda, all have separate bathtubs and showers. They all have a mini bar as well. So before you go away with us, if you just let Panache know what your favorite tipple is, then we'll be able to make sure that that's fully stocked in your mini bar for you when you arrive. In the top suites, so the owner's signature and Winter Garden suites, there are a few extra amenities, including complimentary internet service throughout your voyage. You do have an enhanced in-suite bar set up, a bouquet of fresh flowers, Nespresso machines, Swarovski binoculars, which of course in places like Alaska and Antarctica and those more remote destinations where there's lots of wildlife to see are an incredible bonus. And you also get a complimentary private car airport transfer of up to 50 miles when you're booking one of the owner signature or Winter Garden suites as well. We have incredible service on board. So when people ask me what the difference is between Seabourn and some other ultra luxury cruise lines, we always say it's service, because the service on board Seabourn is second to none. We will preempt what it is that you will, what you need before you even know that you need it. So you're never going to be searching around waiting for someone to top up your glass of wine. It will be done without you even realizing it. We do have some incredible stories of lots of the things that have been done on board for guests that just go above and beyond and exceeding expectations, such as going down to rescue an engagement ring in the ocean when a lady dropped it and then presenting it back at dinner, which is an absolutely true story, but there's lots of incredible things that we do on board. All of the staff will know all of the guest names by the end of the first day, which I think in itself is just amazing because I'm rubbish at names. But it's not just that, it's all of the extra things that we do to go above and beyond and make your cruise and your holiday experience extra special so that you remember what an amazing time you had on board Seabourn. Dining on board is of course really important. I mentioned that there is no set dining time, so you can dine where, when and with whoever you would like to. We do have a couple of specialty restaurants as well, but our culinary offering is enhanced by a partnership that we have with Chef Thomas Keller. So throughout all of the restaurants on board our ships, we work with Thomas Keller in designing a variety of different menu items. And if you haven't heard of Thomas Keller before, he has multiple Michelin stars across a few restaurants in the US. He's very popular over there, but we are lucky enough to have an exclusive dining venue with him as well. So on all of our ships, there is a restaurant called The Grill by Thomas Keller, which is a traditional American chop house style dining venue. So amazing steaks, we make Caesar salad at the table for starters, and lots of incredible desserts as well. You do have to have a reservation to eat in that restaurant, but there is no supplement required. So if you have a special night that you would like to go there, we recommend trying to book that before you go on your holiday with Seabourn, and Panache will of course be able to sort that out for you. But if you can't get a reservation before you board, you will have the opportunity to dine there at least once on your voyage. This is the Grand Salon area that you can see here. We are lucky enough to have another partnership, and that is with Sir Tim Rice. So of course, very famous for writing incredible lyrics for a number of different musicals. So he's had some incredible experiences throughout his career, and this show is one that we're particularly proud of. So he appears as a hologram on the stage and talks through his career, all the incredible people that he's worked with. And then the Seabourn cast, the singers and dancers, will then perform songs from his various different works. So Chess, The Lion King, King, Aladdin, Joseph, Jesus Christ Superstar. So lots of incredible musicals. And that is a real highlight for lots of people in the entertainment experience when they're away with us. We have an incredible spa and wellness program, and that's further enhanced with a partnership that we have with Dr. Andrew Vial. So he has a real focus on mindfulness and well-being, which means that we're able to offer some incredible meditation courses, nutrition courses, which perhaps don't go to the day after you've been to the Grill by Thomas Keller, because it won't make you feel great about what it is that you've eaten in the restaurant the night before. But the spa area is incredible on Seabourn, and actually really big and well resourced in terms of equipment and things for how big our ships are. So all of the top equipment is in the gym, if it's a gym that you like to visit, and the spa's obviously incredible as well. On the Venture, we're actually going to have a floor to ceiling sauna as well, which we're really excited about. But lots of different things that you can do as part of this program, including yoga and Pilates out on the deck. And in Alaska, we do actually do a special yoga excursion that you can do right by the glaciers. And we have been told that a few years ago, a bear actually appeared as they were doing the yoga. So must be incredible, but maybe a little bit scary, but getting you really close to nature if that's what you like to do. We also offer Seabourn Conversations on board. So we obviously have some incredible experts and people with amazing experiences that have been on board, such as Sir Richard Stone that you can see on the right there, who is the Royal Portrait Artist, as well as a recent Royal Butler that we've had on board who has some incredible stories. Steve Wozniak, who is one of the founders of Apple, and Lord Digby Jones is another one that we've had on board as well. But as well as having these people that go on board, we have destination experts, wildlife experts, glacier experts, so that you're really able to immerse yourself in the destinations that you're going to. And the expedition team really bring that to life for you as well when you're in places like Alaska, so that you can really immerse yourself in the destination that it is that you're visiting. We're also lucky enough to be the official cruise line partner of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which means that we're able to take guests further into those destinations that UNESCO supports, and we donate money to that fund every time we do one of those tours. It means that we've got experts that are able to give you more information on those incredible sites that you're visiting with Seabourn as well. So the Ventures by Seabourn program, we're going to touch on a little bit more because, of course, Alaska is a really key destination for this program, but it's part of our shore excursion program that we have available, and it means that you're able to extend and enhance your experience in select destinations. So it started off in Antarctica, where we do Zodiac landings, and then it kind of grew from there, which is now why we have an expedition ship coming as well. So in Alaska, also in the Arctic, in Norway, in Australia, in the Amazon, you can do Zodiac tours and kayaking tours to get yourself closer to all of those amazing sites that you want to see. It isn't just active tours that we do. There are walking tours, historical site tours, etc., as well as talks that I mentioned as part of the Conversations program. The kayaking is amazing. I was lucky enough to do it a couple of years ago, and I can assure you, you don't need to be good at kayaking to do those tours. Quite embarrassingly, I actually got towed by a Zodiac to catch up with the other kayaks that were doing the tour. But it is a really amazing and different experience. And we obviously provide all of the kit for you as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Alaska, and then we're going to touch on Canada and New England afterwards. So we've launched 2022 Alaska and British Columbia a couple of months ago, but we've just launched a couple of weeks ago our 2023 program. So of course, lots of people are on sale for much further out because people are dreaming of those bucket list holidays. And of course, a few of us have moved holidays a few times now as well. So we want to have things to get excited about and look forward to for further in the future. So we are on sale and available for 2023 summer, and we're really excited to be able to share a little bit more information on it with you today. So in Alaska, what makes us special, and I have got a video about the Ventures program in a little bit as well. Obviously, it means that you have the opportunity to do scenic cruising of incredible glaciers, including Glacier Bay National Park, which is, of course, a really popular and well-known glacier national park in the world. And they all include narration by National Park Service rangers. So when you're visiting glaciers on board Seabourn, all the experts are going to be there and on hand to talk to you about all of the amazing things that you're seeing. We spend a long time there, and obviously being on a smaller ship means that you're able to get a bit closer, but you are often and more than likely lucky enough to be able to hear the glaciers carving and see some incredible views. Just take it in though, don't worry about spending too much time taking pictures, because the pictures you take will never do how amazing the glaciers are justice. Of course, on Alaskan cruises as well, you have the opportunity to see lots of incredible wildlife. So in Alaska, there are 8 species of whales that frequent the waters. And when you're doing your glacier cruising up the Inside Passage, and of course getting closer to glaciers, and of course there's some shore excursions available as well, you are often lucky enough to be able to see these amazing creatures. There are, of course, Alaska brown bears that are around as well. So when you're doing tours, you might be able to see some of those. So lots of incredible wildlife that you're able to see, as well as eagles flying around all the time. So you're not going to not see an eagle, but you probably are going to be lucky enough to see some whales as well. We also visit Hubbard Glacier. So Hubbard Glacier is actually the largest tidewater glacier in North America. So it's 76 miles long and 1,200 feet deep. So it's actually larger than the state of Rhode Island by about 20%, I think. It's absolutely huge. But the bit that you will see will be about 6 miles wide where it meets the ocean. So absolutely amazing, and lots of tours that you can do to get closer to it as well. All of our Seabourn Alaska cruises, will feature our expedition team. So they will lead the conversations program that I've already mentioned and provide expert on deck knowledge of all of the scenery and the wildlife that you're able to see, as well as doing guided optional tours within the Ventures by Seabourn program, so that you can do Zodiac tours, you can do treks, ice cave walking, kayaking, and get really close to nature and wildlife when you're doing that as well. We'll also have special guest speakers, including marine biologists and geologists, etc., that will then talk to you about all the wildlife and allow you to learn more about the destination that it is that you're visiting. We offer all of the people that are doing our Alaska cruises a complimentary Seabourn all-weather jacket, which will be ready and waiting for you when you arrive in your suite. And then, of course, you can wear your jacket around when you get home, and everyone will then know that you have been to Alaska with Seabourn. We also, of course, feature lots of regional inspired cuisine when we're on board, and because it can be a little bit chilly when you get close to the glaciers, there's lots of onboard comforts as well. So when you're doing your glacier cruising, we'll be out on deck with hot toddies, hot chocolates, freshly baked cinnamon rolls, etc., to warm you up, and that you're able to have a little snack while you're enjoying the incredible views. We also feature a caviar on the ice deck party, as well as other special onboard events, so that, again, you're able to spend as much time outside as possible to see all of the amazing scenery. We feature regionally inspired cuisines in all of our destinations, but of course in Alaska there's some amazing cuisine on offer, like salmon, crab, etc., and lots of other seafood. And when you're out all day doing all these activities, you're going to want a nice hot and hearty cuisine when you get back in the main dining room, in order to inspire you for your next adventures, but also to warm you up after a long day out exploring. So the itineraries that we have on offer in 22 and in 2023 feature 7-day northbound and southbound cruises. So they depart from Vancouver and finish in Juneau. So Juneau is the capital of Alaska. You can actually only get there by boat or by plane, which is very interesting for a state capital, but you can combine these to make a 14-day voyage with no repeat ports. As I mentioned, it's on the Seabourn Odyssey, so a beautiful ship, just 458 guests on board, so a nice small ship as well, which means that you're able to get to some of these smaller ports that you can see on these itineraries here. So places like the Inian Islands, Rudyard Bay, Misty Fjords, etc., are places that some of the bigger ships are just unable to access. So you will be quite remote in those places that you are visiting. We also offer 10 to 11-day itineraries, which are round trip from Vancouver, which allow you to have a more in-depth experience, but also do round trip from Canada, which makes it a little bit easier, especially if you want to spend a little bit more time in Canada pre or post your cruise experience. You can see here again, you've got quite a lot of glacier cruising options. So you're visiting Tracy Arm, as well as the Misty Fjords and Icy Strait Point, and then doing scenic cruising of the Princess Royal Channel. So you can see that you're going right in here before you then get down to the Inside Passage as well, so that you're going to have the most incredible scenery whilst you're on your ship. So some different ports that we feature. Sitka is a really popular port, and one that not that many cruise lines go to. They tend to go to Skagway, but Sitka is where the purchase of Alaska from Russia was completed. So it's really popular for visiting if you're interested in history and all of the Russian heritage of Alaska, and there's some really interesting tours that you can do to bring that to life. There's some other incredible ports that we visit that are not that frequented by some of the other cruise ships, like Prince Rupert, where there's a grizzly bear sanctuary, if you want to go and see lots of the incredible wildlife. Hubbard Glacier is the biggest tidewater glacier in North America that I already mentioned. So we visit that glacier, as well as some smaller destinations as well, like Misty Fjords, where there's some incredible scenery, as well as waterfalls and rivers. And that's where you can do some incredible kayaking excursions that you'll see in a video I've got in a second. And the Inian Islands is another really popular destination that we visit with our guests when we go to Alaska, where there's lots of incredible marine life that you'll be able to see, such as whales, seals, otters, seabirds and sea lions, and there are zodiac and kayak excursions available in the Inian Islands as well, so that you're able to get closer to that incredible wildlife. So we've already spoken a little bit about the Ventures by Seabourn program, but it's in select ports of call, and it's in quite a lot of them in Alaska that you're able to then do these incredible excursions that are very different to what you would get on a mainstream cruise line and to what you would get on a land-based holiday as well. So if you're a little bit adventurous and you want to experience more when you're going to Alaska, these are perfect for you. But again, if you're not so interested in the exercise aspect of it and doing all of the active excursions, then we have got all of those experts on board that are able to immerse you in the wildlife with conversations and with incredible talks and things. And just by interacting with them over dinner, the expedition team are around and able to talk to. So this is some of the places that we do the Ventures excursions. I've already mentioned a couple of them, but it isn't just about Kodiak, it isn't just about zodiacs and about kayaks. There is also some incredible hikes and things that you can do as well, like the Rainbow Falls hike, Inian Islands hikes, and glacier hikes and things as well, so that you can do ice cave walking, which is just an incredible experience. So quick video now. I mean, if that video doesn't make you want to go on holiday to Alaska, then I don't know what will, but it gives me goosebumps every time I watch it because it looks just incredible. So I think I'll be booking my holiday in 2023 after this presentation. So just another excursion that we do, which is relatively new to the program. We also have a lot of culinary experiences on offer, and we do offer an Enjoy Your Catch Alaska Shore excursion where you can do some incredible fishing as well. So if that's your thing, then that's available on our Seabourn cruises as well. So I'm going to quickly talk about Canada New England as well, because we have just launched that for 2023. And again, we are on sale for 2022 as well. So they will be on board the Seabourn Quest, which again is one of our Odyssey class ships. So a sister ship to the Odyssey that is doing the Alaska departures. So we have 12 and 14 day voyages. The 12-day voyages look absolutely amazing and relatively new for us. Next year, we will be doing departures out of New York. So there's options of a round trip Montreal sailing, which is 18th of September. But then we have four departures that do Montreal to New York, which means that you can stay a couple of nights in New York at the beginning or end of your cruise. So really great in terms of itinerary and a nice place to be able to spend a little bit more time. But you'll notice here that we spend an extra night in Halifax, so you get an overnight there, which means that you're able to spend a little bit more time in that port, which is always a really popular one for our guests. So the itineraries look absolutely amazing. We start going there from August, and that's because the Quest is in Northern Europe for the summer months, before then moving over and doing Iceland and Greenland, and then finishing in Montreal before she then starts her full Canada, New England itineraries. And fall is, of course, the most popular time to visit Canada, New England anyway, which is why we go then. We do have a sailing at the end of the season in October that goes from Montreal down to Miami. So you get an overnight stay in New York so that you're able to spend a little bit more time there as well. So this itinerary looks just amazing as well, and it's 14 days. So lots of options in terms of things that you could do with this itinerary, but it's great to be able to visit so many different kinds of places when you are on one sailing as well. So some of the featured ports in Canada, New England, of course, we go in and out of Montreal, which is the largest French-speaking city outside of Paris. We also visit Quebec, which again is a really popular destination for us. And above you, you can see the incredible St. Lawrence River. Halifax, I mentioned, again, a really popular destination for us, but we actually offer overnight stays there as well. So you've got more time to be able to explore Halifax and then perhaps do a tour out to Peggy's Cove, which is a highly rated shore excursion for us. We also visit Boston, again, really popular port of call where you can follow the Freedom Trail and see all of those incredible landmarks for America's birth. In terms of some of the extra things that we do in Canada and New England, I've gone through the seaborne difference with you anyway, but just to mention that we have some incredible shopping with the chef excursions available. So we do this on all of our cruises, but in Canada and New England, these excursions will happen in places like Quebec or Halifax. So it allows you to be able to go into the regional markets with our chef on board and then see all of the local fresh ingredients that we're buying and then cooking on board the ship that night. So this is complimentary, and it's obviously subject to availability. And as I mentioned, it is really popular. So if something that you're interested in, then definitely worth having a look at this as soon as you get on board. We also have a number of other shore excursions that visit some incredible UNESCO World Heritage sites. So lots of incredible National Historic sites in Old Quebec, but you can see that you can get right back to history and see lots of incredible things when you're doing these tours as well. So always really popular in these destinations to do that. So that's a little overview of Canada, New England and Alaska for you, and hopefully it's inspired you a bit today. But in terms of offers that we've got for you at the moment, we do currently have our 10% early bonus savings available. So if you buy now and pay in full by the end of June this month, then you will save 10% on select voyages. So if this is something that you're interested in, speak to Panache and they'll be able to advise what sailings this is on. And we have an exclusive offer with Panache Cruises for this event today. So if you book by next week, then you'll get an exclusive $100 per person onboard credit for the new Alaska and Canada and New England departures in 2023. So that's everything from me. It was a real whistle-stop tour, but hopefully it's given you a little bit of inspiration for some new destinations for next year and further into the future for 2023. Thanks again for listening though, and hopefully it's inspired you a little bit.
Thank you, Lucy. That's amazing. Those Zodiac tours look incredible. And the tours in Alaska, they just look absolutely incredible. It's making me want to book a cruise now for 2023. Looks brilliant. But yes, thank you everyone so much for joining today. Hopefully that, well, it's definitely inspired me, so hopefully it's inspired you. But as Lucy mentioned, as a thank you from Panache for joining today, we've got an exclusive offer where we can offer $100 per person for anyone that makes the booking off the back of this webinar. And I'd also just mention, if you have any future cruise credits with Seabourn at the moment, I just checked the expiry date on them. and just look if you need any of them extending at all, if you are looking at making a booking for the future. And if you have any questions that you've not, because I can't see that there's any questions been asked during the webinar, but if you have got any questions after today, then please do get in touch and I'll answer any of them for you. What we will do as well is we'll send you this webinar over too. So if there's anything that you've missed or would like to watch back over, you're more than welcome to. And my details are on here, on this slide here, my email address and direct line. But thank you so much for joining and taking the time out of your day. And we appreciate it. And enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.